on that note, though, kind of what you said about abolishing the police, like what does the room feel about that concept? And before you kind of just immediately be negative, it's like I feel like you need some kind of imagination for this scenario because what a lot of people say when they say abolish the police, it still is kind of like um, um um it still kind of comes back to some of what we was talking about in this conversation. Even though we have the police abolished, some of what the people that are calling for the full abolishment of it is still saying like let's create other institutions that kind of take some of the work that cops used to do, split it up in different ways, and kind of just address it differently. Like there's people talking about things like restorative justice, where it's like, yes, we abolish the cops because our penal system, our system that is focused on punishment and stuff like that, which cops just enforce those type of things, is like, if we look at it from a different perspective and just kind of have social rehabilitation programs and different things like that instead of just cops and jails, like that's kind of where some of them coming from. What exactly in detail these restorative justice programs look like, that is still kind of to be determined, and it's a little vague. I can't give you really much details on that, but it's like, do y'all think it's even possible to have a world where cops doesn't exist and we kind of address most of the systematic problems before it gets to a point where cops are needed? Like improve education and all of these things, so you're less likely.
Questions there.
I know.
Is it possible for that whole scenario you played to happen? Yes. Is it probable? Is it probable? Yeah.
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah.
We could if it would happen, we would be like the planting seeds. Our generation would be the seeds that plant it. We sprinkle fertilizer on it. Our generation, our children's daughters' generation, so our grandkids, they're going to see the beginning of the fruit that flourishes if it goes that way.
I still think they will still be watering too. This is something like a pineapple. This pineapple we're growing with this one. That fucking we don't see nothing for a long time.
Yeah, you see, like I hear what you're saying, but in New York currently, I can't say like I don't know if it's still going on, but like recently there was people talking about how like the cops they stopped policing because of some of the protests, because of some of the calls for abolishing the police. They had like just looting and rioting and theft and different things going on, and like cops are not pursuing people. They're not, because there's this kind of sentiment. There was some place in the States where like cops walk off the force type of thing because they feel like, well, the community don't want us here. Like y'all calling for abolishing, defunding the police, and it's Black Lives Matter and thing, and everybody's anti-police now because police the problem type of thing. They had police that walk off the job. Like, is it so hard? To me, that is already y'all laying the foundation right now of showing what happens in a place where there's no cops. Like, to me, I hear what y'all saying, but I don't know if I really agree that it's that far off. If there's already places in the States where there's no cops.
No,
how long would that last though?
I don't know.
Yeah, what we're talking about is
and that's still not implementing the actual restorative justice. Yeah. Like that's just cops not doing their job. That to me, that even though that is still not an accurate like assessment or is not a fair judgment to say that, okay, well, if we don't have cops, everything goes to shit. But if you just erase cops and don't have the other social programs and like the education, whatever all the other stuff is, if you don't have that, but you just remove cops,
King,
what are you doing?
Year do you believe